Hello everyone, this is Surendra, and today I am starting a new series on the LangChain. So, what is a LangChain? LangChain is a LLM framework. So, let's begin this series. And in this very first lecture, we will try to understand why do we need any such framework, any LLM framework like LangChain or Llama Index. So, let's say we will take an example first. So let's say your business has come to you saying that he's looking for an application which should be using the OpenAI API. Okay, then what you would do is you would when you create the backend of your application, you will create one service. Okay, so that service will be basically, let's say the use case is that they need to build this application for summarization or maybe for the code completion or maybe for a translation. So what you would do is you will create one OpenAI service, for example, this one. So you would create one OpenAI service which will be invoking OpenAI APIs. Okay, so this is how you will build your application. But then let's say tomorrow the Anthropic, who is another LLM provider, that comes with a new model which is faster than OpenAI model, and then maybe it is cheaper also. So your business may come back to you saying that, now he has intentions to replace the OpenAI service with the Anthropic service. In that case, what will you do? So what you have to do is you have to, completely rewrite your Anthropic service, which will be invoking the Anthropic APIs. Okay. So what I mean to say is, in this case, you actually need to scrap your old service and you have to create one fresh service with the help of, which is specific to your use case and which will be specific to the LLM provider which you are now using. Okay. But then so now if we talk about large language model frameworks, these LLM frameworks like LangChain, if you use these frameworks, so how they will help is they will help you to create one layer, okay, one LLM agnostic service you can write, which can, with which you can plug in basically any of these APIs, you can plug in the OpenAI API, maybe if you want to integrate it with the Anthropic API, maybe the Grok API, so you can do all those integrations with just one service. So this is what the large language model frameworks will help you. Otherwise, what you need to do is you need to replace the entire service and you need to rewrite the service based on your LLM provider. But if you are using any framework, then all you need to do is, maybe you need to update a line or two uh, in the code, and that's it. Okay. And this is applicable not only for the LLM providers, but also if you are building applications, maybe you are using, different vector databases, maybe ChromaDB or Pinecone, or if you want to make changes, if you want to replace one vector database with the other, same thing will happen, right? You need to write your code again. But if you are using framework, then all you need to do is just you need to replace maybe a line or two, maybe the name of the module which you are going to use. Okay, so this is one reason why you should use LLM framework instead of writing, standalone services which are specific for a LLM provider or maybe for a vector database. But there are other reasons also, you know for example, these frameworks actually help to simplify your development. And as we discussed, they help you to build API agnostic design means they will not be specific to any API, but they will be generic. They have methods and functions which can help you to plug in any model, any vector database, and so on and so forth. Also, these frameworks actually help us to build some complex workflows. Okay, so let's say your use case is just to interact with the LLM. So you are making a call to the LLM and they are coming back with the response. So just prompt and completion. Okay, nothing else you are doing. So in that case, I would say you probably should not use the LLM frameworks. Rather, you should, deal with the traditional approach. And because using large language model frameworks in very simplified projects will make the things complicated rather. Okay, so you use these frameworks only when you are building some complex workflows. You have multiple LLMs, you have multiple components, multiple modules which are talking to each other, maybe input of your LLM. Uh, uh, Once you are giving input to your LLM, its output is given to other component, and from there the output is taken as an input in the other component. So if you are dealing with such a complex system, then probably using these frameworks makes it worth. Other things like, they have enhanced capabilities, they have community support as well. Okay, and the one of the main reason why you should use these framework is that, they help us to build a complex chain of thoughts. If your application is making function calling, they are doing the tool calling, or maybe you are, developing agents. Okay, so if your workflows are agentic, they want your LLM to think through. Okay, so in such scenarios, we actually use LLM frameworks like LangChain and Llama Index. But in this series, since LangChain is one of the famous, we will be talking more about the LangChain framework. Okay, don't worry if you are not able to understand all those things, maybe the words like chain of thoughts or agentic workflows, we will be deep diving into all these things in our future lessons. Okay.